Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Here's a fun kit that I came across on Amazon, and it's a good kit to help you improve your soldering skills and your ability to follow directions and read components and develop enough patience to slowly make sure that you solder these components correctly and position them correctly, orient them correctly, and like I said, be able to read directions and improve your soldering skills. And it's a Christmas tree. So it comes with all these components, all the components necessary, everything necessary, except the batteries. So they're calling it a 3D Christmas tree. So we have these two PCB boards here that fit into each other. They're slotted, you can see that, and each one has components that have to be soldered to it, and then they just fit together like this. So you get this three-dimensional Christmas tree or three-dimensional effect. And then there's the base here that provides support for the Christmas tree, but also some electrical and mechanical connections. So there are some points here, some pads that you tack together with solder. You bridge with solder to position these boards so mechanically they're secured into this, I guess, 90-degree position from each other. And then there's a battery holder or compartment that gets fastened to the underside of this PCB board. And you also tack the bottom of this Christmas tree, which is, I think, part electrical and part mechanical, or both. That gets soldered to the base like that, and this stands upright on top of your battery holder, which is right here. And the Christmas tree has these LEDs that are interesting because I never came across these or knew about these before. These are cycling LEDs, so they cycle through, I think, 3 colors. So, you know, we're all familiar with the individual colored LEDs, which have 2 leads, and then basically something like this, which has 4 leads. So you have either a common anode or a common cathode, and the other 3 leads are the other side of 3 individual LED connections. So it's essentially 3 different colors in one package. But these cycling LEDs, it's really actually not a lot of information as far as the data sheet goes. There is a chip in there, because it's cycling through multiple colors. I was wondering how they accomplished that, because it only has 2 leads. But it has an anode and a cathode, or a positive and a negative. I don't think they would call it an anode or a cathode, because there's some circuitry in there that cycles through the different color LEDs. So you get this nice effect with these random cycling of the different colors, because they have, I think they have these oscillator circuits, so they have different frequencies that these cycling LEDs turn on and off, so they're not all sync with each other. So you get, you know, Christmas tree effect with random lights going on and off. But I think eventually, randomly, you get them so they turn on sort of simultaneously. So it's an interesting effect, and like I said, it will help you with your soldering skills and your ability to concentrate and make sure that you solder the components correctly, position them correctly, get the correct components where they're supposed to be and oriented properly, and make sure you end up with no, missed solder connections. And you should have a nice Christmas tree when you go to turn it on, when you flip the switch. So you can operate it from 3 AA batteries, or it has this USB cable that you can use to power it. There's the connections in there. But here's the components. You have some electrolytic capacitors, the cycling LEDs. Here's a on-off switch. And then these are basically the resistor components. You have some 1K resistors, some 10K resistors, and I think there's like a 22K resistor in here. Now there's a PDF manual right there on the listing for this on Amazon. So I've got it's 31 pages, so I didn't want to print them all out. So I've got my laptop set up here. I downloaded the PDF file. And you start off with this board here and start populating it with the components. Start off with the resistors. So let's get started on this 3D Christmas tree build. Here. All right, so I have all 18 LEDs on this first half, and this is where you really have to develop your patience as you go along. That's a lot of LEDs, and it's the same repetitive task. So you just have to take it slow and concentrate. Make sure you don't put the LED in backwards. So there you go. And then finally, when the two halves go together, there's one LED that goes facing up the very top of the board here on this half. But yep, they're all installed. And next, there's 3 47 microfarad 16 volt electrolytic capacitors. So I have the 3 electrolytics soldered on the board, and now there are 3 transistors, 1, 2, 3, and they're all the same, and they are S9014 transistors. Alright, so I have all the components soldered on the PCB board on this half here, and essentially the other one's just a mirror image of that, so I won't put you through soldering these components on, but I'll go ahead and solder these components on off camera and get back to you. Now you can see there's slots in these, so there are 2 arrows. One's pointed to the left on this one, and this one's pointing to the right on this half. So you just orient these so they slot together like so, and then you want to line up those two arrows. So what you do is you just tack the solder bridge, those two pads together. So let me go ahead and do that. Put a nice blob of solder here to bridge this. So now the only thing to install is the power switch here, and then there's the power connector. Okay, solder that. All right, so that's the base all set to install our 3D Christmas tree. All right, now we can insert the Christmas tree into the base. Now if you look, they have a positive here and a negative, and on the bottom of the Christmas tree there's a plus, and then there's no sign there, but then there's a negative there. So this gets oriented into all four slots like so. So I'll start off with this one, double check, make sure I got the polarities correct there. I'll tack that one, and then sort of secure that. All right, and last but not least, the final, I hold in my hand the final LED. So make sure it's oriented correctly. So let me install the batteries and see if this works on the first try. I didn't want to plug it into the USB in case I shorted something out. I want to blow up my laptop. All right. So here's the power switch. Oh, right. All the LEDs working? It looks like it. Cool. Okay, so there is the 3D Christmas tree. Great little project to improve your soldering skills and your ability to follow directions and populate the board with the components oriented correctly. I mean, for the price, this is a nice little project. Maybe I'll just take this, put this on a table instead of buying that $30 Christmas tree. So I hope you found this video interesting, entertaining. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe, like, and or comment. And thanks again for watching this 3D Christmas tree build. Nice little kit.